Hey guys, this is Tiqqle. In this video we're going to go over some 3v3s that I was doing over the past weekend with the Holy Paladin and Boomkin. For this video I'm going to kind of walk through all of my thought process during these matches. These matches were pretty much a grind from 0 rating for the season to about 1800. In a follow-up video I'm going to include some of the comms that we used starting at 1800 and as we kind of push towards 1900. Starting with the first match, we're against a Feral Balance Disc Priest. So in this match our goal is we're going to focus the Feral. We think they have the most kill potential, seeing as they're going to have to be on us, so we can drag them out in the open, use the line of sight against the Boomkin and the Disc Priest, we feel pretty confident about a kill on that. So my Boomkin's looking around for their Feral. So their Feral finds my Boomie, unfortunately. Caught out in the open, the first thing I'm going to do is put up Flame Shock. So Flame Shock is what I'm going to put on all targets for the entire match to try to give me as much Maelstrom as I can and give me as many Lava Burst procs as I can. So then we see the Priest start to jet in towards our healer, and immediately I'm worried that there's a Fear coming. The Boomkin pops up, I'm worried that there's going to be a Cyclone Fear CC chain, throwing down a stun totem kind of as a defensive measure between my team and their team. I'm still putting pressure on the Feral. I pop Stormkeeper. I have my Flame Elemental out now, and I'm just kind of spamming this Feral with as much damage as I can, trying to build up some pressure, getting my dots up. We're doing a pretty good job of line of sighting the Boomkin. I knock him back against the pillar to kind of give my Boomkin a little bit more space. He's been in bear form the whole time, not taking a lot of damage, and he finally comes out into the Boom Chicken form. Our Holy Paladin isn't really scared, and the Boomkin kind of starts to go out in the open so he can start building up his damage and getting ready for the burst. I drop Sky Fury, I throw out my Ice Fury, and then we pop him for 80% to 0 in about 2 seconds. The second match is Resto Shaman Affliction Lock Arms Warrior. We're a little nervous about the Affliction Warlock. We're really not sure how to play it, if we should focus it or not. We also, know if the Arms Warrior is not in defensive stance, he's going to be pumping out a lot of numbers. And we think that we can probably kill the Resto Shaman in a 80 to 0 swap with Full Moon and Sky Fury and Ice Fury. So our play here is really start on the Arms Warrior, make sure he's defensive, and then see how it goes and see if there's any swap potential to the Resto Shaman. So we start this by going way out in the open. We stay spread apart, so in case the warrior's on one of us, the other one can start nuking him. And then I accidentally stun myself with a reflected Earth Shock. But that's okay, the Boomkin was ready to go. Sky Fury's down, you see the Full Moon come down. I hex the healer, and then start the Chain Lightning with a Lightning Rod proc, and he instantly gets vaporized. So the next match is against a Demon Hunter, DK, Mistweaver. So for this match, we're pretty nervous. This is going to be pretty intense. We know they have a lot of absorbs. They have a lot of defenses that can just totally shut down our damage, and the melee cleave potential Mongoloid is definitely there. So how we plan to play this is focusing on the Frost Death Knight first. Although he has his AMS, that's about it. So we're going to focus him and try to keep the Demon Hunter CC'd, or at least rooted. As you can see, I took the Earth Grab roots for this match. So they immediately start on me. I try to use Gust of Wind to get out of there. I try to stay in the open, though, to at least provide some damage potential to my Boomkin to apply pressure. So this kind of goes on for a little bit. We're dancing around, I'm jumping around, and the Boomkin's trying to put out pressure. And you can see we're getting him a little bit down, but he's not really dipping too low. We're just trying to survive and use up their cooldowns. We're trying to not use too many defensives, but we're trying to stay alive. I'm throwing down Earthquake under my feet to knock them down to give me a little bit of breathing room until we can break out of this kind of heads down tunnel rush they have on me. I'm trying to Chain Lightning and put as much pressure on the Death Knight as I can, and we get him down to about half, but that was using a lot of our damage, and he pops AMS, so we're feeling okay. I'm still trying to bounce around and dance around to avoid as much damage as possible. But it's just, it keeps coming. My healer does a great job of keeping me up through this. I really have to say I did not feel too worried, above 2 million health most of the time. So I'm dancing around. I'm trying to use Healing Surge. I'm trying to get that off when I can. I'm throwing out my instant cast Lava Bursts. I'm throwing out Flame Shock as much as I can. And in this situation, it's really hard. But getting out those Healing Surges makes a really big difference. Healing for 400k and then having 400k again in 3 seconds is really awesome. And there's no internal cooldown, so you can start spamming that and you basically double heals. The other thing I do that I think was very helpful was I start throwing down earthquakes under my feet. This is hitting both the targets, knocking them down. And when I saw that they were knocked down, this gives me some time to either do a lot of damage or I can even spam my healing surge, which is what I did most of the time. So here we just saw me throw down Sky Fury. We saw the full moon come down. We got another AMS from the DK. And so here I just continue to be pressured and pressured and pressured, but at least my Boomkin is keeping them down pretty low. I'm again healing myself a lot. You can't see it a lot, but my Holy Paladin is really hugging a pillar back where we spawned. He's also uses that as a chance to drink, so he drank up a little bit to get some mana back. We're continuing to put pressure out. I think the other team got a little frustrated because they weren't able to kill me, so they now are switching to the Boomkin. I try to throw out, now that I'm freed up, I'm trying to throw out CCs on the DPS and try to relieve pressure from him while putting out offensive pressure like he was doing for me. So I, again, kind of stand back, and now we've kind of swapped roles. He's the one taking a beating. I'm a little surprised he's not in bear, but he must not. Oh, and there it is. So now I'm just kind of starting to pound away. We're still focusing the Death Knight down. We know he's popped at least some of his defensives. There should be on cooldown. So we just continue to plow and plow and plow. The mist hasn't really been CC'd too much, but because of how mobile they are and how hard they are to kind of get a full cast off when they're hugging the pillar, we just decided we just need to be powering through this and throwing out our offensive pressure where we can. So here I think we tried to switch to the Demon Hunter to try to get a little bit of swaps to see how squishy he was. It doesn't really go very far. And now you'll see me using the roots on the DK. The roots are very annoying. If they don't get dispelled, they could sit there for quite some time. So here again, you can see me throwing down Earthbind to keep them CC'd off of the Druid. I start using my Stormkeeper to apply some offensive pressure, spreading my Flame Shocker around. This is giving me more and more and more Maelstrom. So again, we're staying on the Death Knight, but we have a lot of pressure against us right now, especially with the Boomkin in bear form basically permanently. But they're not really too loyal to sticking on him. So here we see our Boomkin runs over roots and puts a solar down, and this is where we start to get a possible another kill on the DK, but he pops AMS again. They're back on the Boomkin, who's going to go back into bear form, of course. So I'm just trying to, again, apply pressure while trying to also peel through either roots or Hex. I think this entire time my Thunderstorm has been on cooldown. Here the Boomkin's trying to line of sight the healer by trying to pull him way back, but it's not really too effective to the monk trying to pull him out. I throw down Earthquake, and now I have my 4 stacks of Ice Fury up. We pull the Death Knight behind the step. We are able to pop him down really quickly at the end there just by line of sighting with the AMS down and that full moon. The next one is against triple DPS, Frost Mage, Death Knight, Demon Hunter. So our plan was to get out in the open so that we can fight them and control positioning based on roots, slows to peel off the melee, and also be able to control the mage. We don't want to get caught in a situation where we're all stacked on top of each other on either side of the bridge and they're able to cleave and AoE all of us down, so that's why we position ourselves in the middle. I also go up on top of the bridge so that my Thunderstorm can hopefully have a good effect. Here you'll see I'm just really getting focused on and I'm just getting beat up really bad. I pop my Astral Shift, I pop my Gift to the Naru. I try to get some healing off. It's not really working. I'm not really doing a whole lot. Luckily, I'm able to get the DK off of me as planned, and my job here is really to focus the mage, interrupt those polys, purge him off, make sure that he isn't able to free cast on our team. So here you see I purge the bop that he stole. We stun him, get a full moon on him, and he blocks pretty early in the fight. So now we're just waiting for him to get out. And he gets out, and we try to kick the poly. It doesn't go off. He starts to get up, ramp up his damage again, but he's so low it doesn't really matter. And then you'll see him blink and then die to a tick of Flame Shock. So that's why we always keep it up. So in the next fight, we're against triple DPS again. 2 Death Knights, 1 Marksman Hunter. So here they go in really hard on our Paladin. He gets pretty screwed up. I throw out the AoE stun totem trying to peel him off. he bubbled, and it wasn't really a big deal. Here, we just try to put as much pressure as we can out to try to get one of these guys down. We pop our cooldowns really early. My Chain Lightning did a ton of damage with them all grouped up together, especially with the Lightning Rod on the Hunter. I ended up doing a shitload of damage that match just because of how close they were, and they just got torn to pieces. We really weren't too worried that time because we knew we were going to have to bubble early. It wasn't really a big concern. The next fight is against a Ret Paladin Resto Druid Windwalker. So here again, melee cleave, we're a little bit nervous. Our plan here was to focus the Ret down. We were having a lot of success getting the Ret down, forcing the bubble, and then killing them after the bubble. So here I'm just rushing in. I'm trying to throw out my Flame Shocks just to get more Maelstrom rolling. They're focusing me first. I'm trying to drag them back behind the pillar. I throw down my AoE stun. It doesn't really work too effectively. I throw down my Earthquake. I run out of it a little bit, but then I go back. Now I'm spreading my Flame Shock. And then I get some Ice Fury damage out, which is what really should be done. You really should use Ice Fury on cooldown, along with ideally a proc of Lava Burst just to get that damage rolling pretty hard. And now that the Paladin has popped his Absorption Bubble, we know I can purge that off and we can get that real bubble forced. I pop Stormkeeper because I should just be Chain Lightning them down together. Here I start doing damage to the monk since he's out in the open, and I will look at my Boomkin. The Boomkin can see it. I see him running over. I have my Ice Fury up. I'm ready to use it. I pop it. I get my 400k crits. I'm feeling good. Another 250. He follows it up, and we get the kill pretty quickly. My Boomkin is doing a great job of CCing the healer during my burst, which really helped us get a lot of kill potential. So guys, if you liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be having a follow-up video to this where we have more commentary, and then another one that shows us grinding from 1800 to 1900 with some with our comms on, so you'll be able to hear all of our chatter. I'll have less commentary there, but I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video.